Hey guys, Matt Moreland, Realtor here, and today I'm going to talk to you about the cheapest way to buy a home in 2020. So the first one I'm going to talk to you about is HUD Homes. HUD stands for Housing and Urban Development, and every now and then there will be a home that gets either foreclosed on and doesn't get sold at auction, or something else might happen and it gets taken possession of by the HUD. And so when that house gets listed by HUD, typically there's a bidding process that goes on, and you can get a really good deal sometimes, but there are a few catches. So they do have a $100 down payment program, which is excellent for first-time buyers or someone looking to get into a house that they can fix up themselves pretty easily. But the catch with that is that you do have to be an owner-occupant. So if you intend to buy a HUD home, you do have to live in the home after purchasing it, and typically that's going to be a 2-year minimum. And that is to get the $100 down payment program. And on top of that, with a $100 down payment program, it does have to be at least a full price offer. And typically these homes do sell for quite far below what the market value is of the home. For example, if there's a home that would normally sell on the market for $160,000, $165,000, it might be listed as a starting bid at $80,000 or $85,000 on the HUD bidding platform. Which to bid on these, you do have to have an agent representing you who is certified and licensed in the state and approved by the Housing and Urban Development to bid on those homes on behalf of their clients. Another catch with buying HUD homes is that you cannot have bought another HUD property in the previous 24 months. If you haven't done that, then you're good to go bidding on a HUD home with your realtor and hopefully get an awesome deal. Usually they do need some light work done. Some need heavier work, but typically they're a great deal, especially for first-time buyers. So the second way to get a house for the cheapest possible way in 2020 is to go through the FHA loan process. FHA stands for the Federal Housing Administration, and they're a great way to get a loan as a first-time home buyer who might not necessarily have as much cash on hand as you like, or to make a 20% down payment. As long as you have a reasonably good credit score, you can typically get a low down payment, as low as 3.5% with the FHA program. So typically you're going to see $550 to $620 being the minimum that you're going to have. But anything over $620, you can usually get a fairly competitive rate, as well as a low down payment amount. So something to consider with loans, especially FHA loans, where you're borrowing more than 80% of the home's value, is PMI, which is just mortgage insurance. It stands for private mortgage insurance, and you're having to take out this amount of insurance to cover the government's risk that they're taking out for loaning you so much of the home's value. And this, you pay this monthly until you've gotten 20% or more equity in the home. And this is typically a reasonably small fee, but it is something to consider, and it's what you're going to have usually if you're getting into a house for very little to no money down. So another trick on those FHA loans is to get the seller to pay closing costs to reduce your cash out of pocket even further. So typically in the contract, when you're submitting an offer, in the settlement, closing and settlement expenses, you can put in there a rough estimate of what your closing costs are going to be on your side and request that the seller cover your share of those expenses. Everything's negotiable in real estate, and this is one that you should push for if you're trying to get into your house as cheaply as possible in 2020. So up next, we're going to talk about conventional loan programs. So conventional loans are typically what you think of when you think of an 80-20 loan, where you're putting down 20% of the home's price as a down payment. When in reality, if you have a great credit score, reliable payment history, and you check all the right boxes for the lender, oftentimes you can get down payments as low as 5%. And if you have an 820 credit score, or really anything over 750, a lot of lenders are going to be more competitive and trying to offer you the best possible rate. So to make sure that this happens, stay on top of all of your debt payments and be responsible with your credit card use and debt obligations. Have proof of income for the last 2 years in the form of tax returns to show the lender that you're able to pay those monthly mortgage payments. So the last thing I want to talk to you about today is VA loans. VA loans do typically take a little bit longer to close, but the catch on those is you can get in with 0% down. So the thing about it is, you as a veteran, if you're using your VA loan, you do have to occupy the property, so that is something to consider. It can't be an out-of-state investment property that you're just using your VA loan on. it does have to be a property you intend to occupy. And oftentimes, lenders are very flexible working with veterans and are super helpful getting them into homes. So in review today, we talked about the cheapest ways to get into homes in 2020. And starting from the beginning, those are the following: HUD Homes, FHA loans, conventional loans, getting the sellers to pay closing costs, and finally, VA loans. I hope this video has been helpful to you guys, and if you have any more questions or want to know some more detailed ways how you can save money on getting into your next home, feel free to shoot me a message or connect with me on social media, and I would love to delve into more detailed, more complex ways that you can save even more money in 2020. As always, thank you guys for watching, and talk to you next time.